The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge are pleased to announce that the Duchess of Cambridge, Kate, is expecting their second child. That news just tweeted by the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge in the last few minutes. So, a brother or sister for George?
Yes, the statement goes on. The Queen and members of both families are delighted with the news. Unfortunately, as with her first pregnancy, it says the Duchess is suffering from hyperemesis gravidarum. You'll remember that dreadful morning sickness that went on to reach extreme levels. And it says Her Royal Highness will no longer accompany the Duke of Cambridge on their planned engagement in Oxford today. It says the Duchess is being treated by doctors at Kensington Palace. So, yes, morning sickness is one way of looking at it, but it really is something altogether different.
Well, it's completely debilitated, wasn't she, the last time, and spent quite a lot of time under observation. But, as we say, a sibling for George. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge tweeting in the last few minutes that they are expecting their second child.
Well, I'm joined by our royal correspondent Nicholas Witchell. Very happy news.
Yes, not entirely surprising, I suppose. They clearly want to get on with it. And yes, another baby due. We don't know any more details than that, other than, as you've been saying, the family are delighted. Lifting the tension that they may perhaps be feeling at Balmoral at the moment on other matters. But yes, you know, they want to clearly have their children as you know, within a reasonable space of time. It calls into question plans that were already starting to be drawn up for foreign visits next year. Now, she is, of course, due to go and represent the Queen in Malta in just a couple of weeks' time at the Malta's 50th anniversary of independence. Now, whether that will be possible, I would have thought it's rather doubtful. She's due there on September the 20th and the 21st. So that trip must now be questionable, particularly obviously in view of the fact that she's suffering again from this acute sickness.
Yes, and just
problem.
remind us, because for people who talk about morning sickness, people were sometimes, when it first happened last time, people were a bit rude, saying, "Oh, poor her, she's got morning sickness." But this is altogether different.
This is rather more than that. I mean, it is pregnancy sickness of a rather acute kind. Perhaps, given that this is her second pregnancy, one might suppose that it may not be as serious. And the fact that she hasn't been hospitalised, as of course she was into the King Edward VII Hospital for several days during George's pregnancy. But I would imagine that we won't be told very much more, other than that if there will be any implications for her programme of engagements. We already know that she's not accompanying William in Oxford today, as you've been saying, being treated by doctors at Kensington Palace. No information at this stage, obviously, when the baby would be due. But I suppose, you know, it must be in the early stages of the pregnancy. I'm not going to, you know, it's pointless to start speculating, but what are we? We're now in the 9th month of 2014, so I suppose this is, well, clearly it's going to be 2015.